Hello students, welcome back to the 6th video. Today we are going to talk about the story of Maratha Empire. We have already studied about Tipu Sultan, the tiger of Mysore. We saw how the East India Company had come in India and captured the Bengal area. Then they came to the south side, and from the south side they captured the Karnataka area, Mysore part. Then they thought of coming forward and capture the Maratha region because they had a vast empire and they wanted a control over that area. So let's see what is there. Story of Marathas empire. Vision to capture Delhi. Okay, Marathas had a vision. Okay, they wanted to capture Delhi. The third battle of Panipat was fought for that reason. Marathas were defeated in 1761. Marathas and the East India Company. East India Company wanted to capture this area which is Marathas region, plus they wanted to have control over Delhi as well. So in third battle of Panipat, what had happened, the Marathas had fought with the British, and the thing was that the Marathas were defeated in the year 1761. This you have to remember. Marathas were divided into many states under different chiefs called Sardars. Marathas among themselves, they had their own personal states where they used to rule over each and every area. Okay, so they never stayed in a combined area, but they had given divisions. So one ruler would be ruling in different place. So that chiefs were known as Sardars. So now for that reason, the different places they were ruling are Sindhia, that is in Gwalior, Holkar in Indore, Gayakwad, Baroda. Bhosles were having control over the Nagpur. So these are the places where they had control. If we see in map, imagine this to be the map. Okay, so this was the region which was captured by the they had already captured this Bengal region, the East India Company. Then they captured this Mysore portion. Okay. Then they wanted to capture over this region, that is the Maratha kingdom. Okay, so the few portions which I told, that is Sindhia, okay, Gwalior, Holkar in Indore, Gayakwad in Baroda. Baroda was almost this portion. Okay. Then you have the Gwalior. Gwalior is in MP, this portion, MP region. Then you have Holkar. Holkar is nearby to Indore, this region. And then you have the Bhosles. They were in Nagpur. So in this region. Okay, so this is how they had control over, and these Sardars were having control over each state. That's how the whole thing used to be under their control. So East India Company wanted to capture this large empire and bring under their control. Chiefs were held together in a confederacy under Peshwas. Who was the head? The main head was termed as Peshwas, and he was known as the principal minister, and he used to stay in Pune. Where he used to stay? In Pune, which is in Maharashtra. Mahatma Sindhya and Nana Fadnavis were two famous Marathas who were having control at that time. So when they were ruling, Mahatma Sindhya and Nana Fadnavis, that time Britishers were little in fear to have friendship with them instead of going and having war with them. So that's how Mahatma Sindhya and Nana Fadnavis were the strongest fellows who were having control over Maharashtra, and that's how the place was safe until they were there. No doubt Marathas were a major power in front of the company. From late 18th century, the company also sought to curb and eventually destroy Maratha power. How did they destroy the Maratha power? War with the Marathas. Marathas were not defeated in the single war, As I said, they were very strong, warrior type of fellows, and they could not be defeated. So Britishers waited till they got a chance to get in and then fight. Company subdued Marathas in a series of wars. There were lots of wars which took place. The first Anglo-Maratha War, which took place in 1775 to 1782. No clear victory of British. Treaty of Salbai was signed. Here British did not win over, but they anyhow managed to, cleverly they managed to have a treaty which was signed by the Marathas, and that's how the whole thing took place. That is the new treaty, which is Salbai. Treaty of Salbai was signed. You have to remember this, okay? Britishers had made the Marathas to sign the Treaty of Salbai. The Second Anglo-Maratha War, which took place in 1803 to 1805. The British proved to be successful in the war. In the first war, as you saw, there was like a tie type of war. In that, they managed, the British company managed to have a sign which was done by the Marathas, and they agreed that time, and they had signed the Treaty of Salbai. In the Second Anglo-Maratha War in 1803 to 1805, British proved themselves to be successful in this war. British gained the territories of, they had got the control over few places like Orissa, Agra and Delhi. So these are the important places where they had control over: Orissa, Agra and Delhi. The Third Anglo-Maratha War, which took place again between the Marathas and the Britishers. In this, the war took place from 1817 to 1819. Major and decisive battle it was, very decisive battle. Marathas' powers were crushed totally. In this third battle of war, what had happened, the Marathas had been crushed, because by the time the company had got all the information regarding them. Okay, the Peshwas was removed and sent away. I said in the previous slide that Peshwa is an important minister who is the head of the place. So the Peshwa was removed. He was asked, he is the head of the Sardars. So now imagine the Peshwa was removed and sent away to the Bittur. It's a place where it is situated in Karnataka. Okay, Bittur, and with a pension. He was given, means Marathas totally lost in the Third Anglo-Maratha War, and in this it was finally the Peshwa was asked, okay, nicely he was being asked to move out from his own state and get settled in the other place, that is Bittur, and in Bittur he was given a pension. According to that pension, he had to survive. So this is what was done. Okay. Now you can see this three wars picture: First Anglo-Maratha War, Second Anglo-Maratha War and the Third Anglo-Maratha War. The claim to paramountcy. This is the new topic, children. From early 19th century, company pursued an aggressive policy of territorial expansion. Company always wanted to see that the territory gets expanded. Okay, they didn't end up from when they came in Surat, okay, starting trading company they had started. They came with an intention of just doing trade, but then later on they moved to West Bengal. Bengal side also they captured, then they came to the Mysore side. They had a war with say the Marathas, and as you know, okay, Mysore side Tipu Sultan and all had a good friendship with the French. So French and the British had a rivalry competition each and every time, because both were indulged in one product. Okay, they used to purchase in the cheap rate and then used to sell in the Britain. So now this both were rivalries, so they supported the Marathas. Later on, then moving to the area, in that three wars which they fought, as you know, the Third Anglo-Maratha War, they lost. So now from early 19th century, as they are telling, okay, they had an aggressive policy of territorial expansion. They wanted to expand their territory, Bengal, Mysore and Marathas. How? By the policy of Paramounty. What is this Paramounty? Who brought this Paramounty policy? As you all know that they had direct military wars. Until they could fight, they fought, and then they new governor generals came, and then they had new policies which they brought in, and according to the policies a lot of change which was brought, and they wanted to just expand the area. Okay, that is what is their main intention under Lord Hastings. So policy of Paramounty who brought? Lord Hastings. So under Lord Hastings, Governor General from 1813 to 1823. 1813 to 1823, Lord Hastings was the new Governor General. So he is Lord Hastings. He is not Warren Hastings, he is Lord Hastings. Okay, Lord Hastings and Warren Hastings are two different people. So you have to remember. The claim to Paramounty. Company claimed that its authority was paramount. What they said, the company, Hastings, he said that when he had introduced with this policy, he said that when I mean to say Paramounty, Paramounty means having paramount or supreme authority over the place. Okay, I am having supreme authority over y'all. So that is what Hastings said. Hence its power was greater than that of Indian states, because by that time they had captured most of the places. In order to protect its interest, it was justified in threatening to annex any Indian kingdom. This policy continued in the process of British expansion. They were threatening to what? Annex their property. Okay, Britishers came as a trader. Then they started amassing, using the different policies which they brought in. After bringing new policies, what they tried to do? They expanded the territory. After expanding the territory, the things were they wanted. Now they brought a new policy, that is Paramounty. According to that, okay, you could annex, you are having supreme authority over the Indian states, and you could easily annex the property which was there in the Indian kingdom. This policy continued in the process of British expansion. However, the process did not go unchallenged. Okay, the process did not go unchallenged. It was challenged by the people as well. Britishers brought in new things, new policies, but people of India did not give back. Okay, they wanted to challenge, they wanted to see that we win over the Britishers. Challenges during British expansion. As you can see, this is not Rani Lakshmi Bai, she is Rani Chennamma. Okay, Rani Chennamma, as a fighter like Rani Lakshmi Bai, she also fought for Karnataka. During the annexation of Kittur, that is in Karnataka, Rani Chennamma took to arms and led an anti-British resistance movement. What did Rani Chennamma did? She wanted to see that her property doesn't get annexed by the Britishers, so she tried to go out, have a fight, direct war with the British. She got arrested in 1824 and she was put in the prison, and 1829 she had died in the prison. So it was a very, you can say, cruel situation which you could see. Then the war continued. Who kept that war going on? That is Rayanna. Okay, Rayanna, a poor chowkidar of Sangoli, again in Kittur, carried on this resistance, anti-resistance against the British. He was caught and hanged by the British, again in which year? 1830. After Rani Chennamma died in 1829, whereas Rayanna died in 1830. So this is how the Kittur people started having control over British. They did not want to give up on the people. Okay, so this is the whole thing children. We'll continue with the same topic in the next video. Till then, bye.